Think I'm on time this time. Gonna wait a second while I see if I go live over on my other screen. Ernesto says I'm getting a Coke. I did in fact get a Coke before the stream started. Look, I am live on my other screen. So Manga says late. I don't think I was late. Yeah, right on time. Come on. I went live before my thing said 3 o'clock. Let me make sure my phone isn't gonna ring during this live stream. How's it going, everybody? Gonna do one of my kind of typical live streams of late. For a while, I was getting a little excessive with the 2-3 hour live streams. I have a 3.5 hour Poke Flips tomorrow, so I'm just gonna do an hour and a half today. Shout out to Chris W. I apologize. I accidentally forgot to open his second ETB last Friday. So I'm gonna do at some point, probably in the next few minutes, I'm gonna rip into this Crown Zenith ETB. This is not gonna be like a this is not going to be a full Crown Zenith rip stream again. This is just going to be hanging out. I got a 50 card PSA submission that came back. If people want to see that, I can show that. I do have a pretty nice, cool playmat for my openings, for my background on the desk cam. So pretty excited about that. Happy with how it came out. Yeah. As always, hit me with the questions. Hit me with the questions in the chat. Ernesto had me spot on about getting a Coke. Dan's backstage in a silk robe and shades blasting out Puddle of Mud. That's the one who sings She Hates Me, right? I think that's the only song I can think of theirs. I probably know more, but that does stand out. We got the Dans in chat. Love to see them. Appreciate all the support. All the good stuff up front, I guess. You don't know whether or not you like the live stream yet, but if you do, if you think you will, at some point, hit that like button down below. Spread it out to more people. The sub and the join buttons are there if you want to get some fancy emotes for the chat. I appreciate all you, as always. Sorry I didn't have the shades on. I don't think I have them down here anymore. For a while, I had them right somewhere around my desk, but I don't believe they're here anymore. I kind of tidied up a little bit, so now I don't know where anything is. Manga with the cash grab. We got the Dans in chat. Manga's got a mobile delay. Did I get wrecked or did I get a W? So this submission that I sent out, by design, all the grades were going to be low for the most part. So I guess I got wrecked in that some of my grades were a little too high. I guess I got some PSA 2s. Where I was hoping to get a PSA 1 for that nice PSA 1 premium that we all know and love. So yeah, like my Lugia got a 2. I guess we'll just do the submission quick while we're talking about it. Damon wants to see the submission. A lot of low, like, good cards, really good cards that are worth it. Not in any grade. I mean, saying that this is worthwhile grading in a PSA 4, probably pushing it, but the way that it works out, I think people are willing to pay a premium for plastic. Some people love a card so much they'll collect it in 1 through 10 grades. Some people love Nidoking so much, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 might be out of their price range. So maybe a PSA 5 slab will be perfect for them. Another aspect of it is that I do not want to sell these cards raw on eBay. When I sell a card as a PSA 5 Gold Star Mew, there's an expectation that the card is going to be in pretty rough shape. So I pay $15. This was my last $15 submission that I sent out to PSA. And in return, I have just a smoother transaction with the buyer knowing what they're getting. This card, some of the cards in this submission were just straight up like, I know these cards are rough. I'm going to take whatever grade they are. Some of them were like, I hope this gets a 1 for the 1 premium. And then other ones were actually from that $23,000 binder collection that I bought. So some of these were, I was in pursuit of like a 9 or a 10. And some 8s came up. There were some cards that I consciously was like, this will probably be an 8, but looking at what the 8 sell for and looking what they sell for near mint on Troll and Toad, the 8 actually had a premium. I think this is one of them where I'm like, it's probably an 8 or a 9, but what the last 8 sold for at the time at least made it worthwhile. This is one, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember at the end of the day which ones were like, oh, I think that has a chance at a 10, which ones were like, I'm going to grade it in any condition. I'm assuming most of these 7s and 8s, I probably thought they'd be like 8s pluses. I wouldn't have intentionally, I don't think. I'd be shocked if this one sells higher in a PSA 7 than I could have just sold it on Troll and Toad near mint. So this was probably a miss. I appreciate you, Beerski Collects, joining the membership. Got a nice fancy badge now. Let me leave that one up on screen while I continue. Hidden Fates, I did so well with these. These ones, I think, as a lot of modern promos do, I think they've just come down steadily as PSA has opened and gotten more accessible and quicker. Beautiful card, though. Beautiful card from the Hidden Fates Premium Collection. Got it in a PSA 9. I sold several 10s. I graded quite a few of those back in the day. This is one of those cards that I probably knew it was a 7 or an 8, but it was worthwhile grading. We got the nice 3 Tyranitar. There is going to be a little bit of non-Pokemon in here. Sorry, I'm moving off screen. There's going to be a little bit of non-Pokemon. They kind of mix things up. But yeah, there's a 1. We love to see the 1. I've sold PSA 1s and CGC 1s for PSA 8 prices. Do not be a buyer of that. I guess find your own damaged copy on eBay. Grade it yourself. There's a Mint 9 Crawdont. Another PSA 1 Rhyperior. Look at all the undulations. Look at all the altitude changes on that card. Really love to see it. Getting that 1. Beautiful Secret Wonders Ho-Oh, PSA 9. We got a Black Star promo Pikachu, PSA 9. Hidden Fates, Umbreon, PSA 10. PSA 8, Holland Phantoms. Reverse Foil Gyarados. I think this second stack is gonna have a little bit of non-Pokemon, but yeah, let's shoot right through it. Gonna be a little out of focus because we're way too close to the camera, I think. Vegeta, Brawly. Got some Dragon Ball Super going on. That's from the same seller, from the $25,000 non-Pokemon collection. So from the same seller, anyone who didn't see those videos, didn't see those live streams, I bought a $25,000 non-Pokemon collection, and I also bought a $23,000 Pokemon collection. So back to the Pokemon. Neo Genesis Lugia, not quite as rateable in any condition as like a base unlimited Charizard is, but I think it's in that vicinity. You got a PSA 5 Espeon EX, so nothing crazy here. Some beautiful cards, a little bit of variety with the Dragon Ball Super, but at the end of the day, I guess there's a random PSA 10 Jolteon reverse from Delta Species. Supreme Victor's 8. A lot of 8s. More 8s than you'd like to see. You'd like to see more 9s, maybe a couple more 10s, but I guess we got 110 when it comes to the mid-era and vintage Pokemon. And then we got quite a few 10s with the Dragon Ball Super, which is pretty typical because that grades fairly easily. Let me move back. I'm going to move back here for a couple minutes, and I will try to catch up with the live chat, and then I will open Chris W's Crown Zenith ETB. Apologize. Thankfully, the prices seem to have gone up, if anything, on Crown Zenith ETB since last week. I'll probably throw in like a random booster pack. Maybe I guess if Chris is watching, as a bonus, I'll open 3 celebrations booster packs to apologize for waiting an extra week to open those. Let's see. Anga says, claim a playmat and shirt, take my money. I have had a couple people reach out. I think I paid about $20 for the playmat through a website that I found. I am happy with how it came out. I did an order of 2 for myself. You can see there's another one back here. I wouldn't want to sell something that I wouldn't be happy using myself, but I'm really happy with how these came out. They seem to be right around the same quality as like the Ultra Pro playmat that I have below it. I realize now you can't see it, but they're right in the same ballpark as the other playmats that I own, like a standard Pokemon playmat, same size. If people had interest, I guess I could theoretically order a batch of 20 or 30 of them, maybe get my cost down a little bit and just sell them for like break even if people had interest. I don't know that people actually will, but yeah, if people genuinely have interest in that, that's something I can look into. It's not anything I would have to or want to make money on. It would just be something, yeah, if people had interest, I'd try to order a decent sized batch so that I could just maybe get you to buy them from me for the same price that I paid for my 2. We always want to see slabs. How's it going, J-Rob? How's it going, UAP? Espionics, Mr. Walrus with the flame emotes. Yeah, Ernesto did give me a new batch of emotes, but I've not yet put them in there. So for next week, hopefully, we should have a new batch of emotes. I'm still restricted. One thing I'm a little worried about too, all those gifted memberships we had a week or two ago. People are gonna get used to having this. I don't know how many emotes you have right now, but some amount of those are probably gonna go away when inevitably the gift subscriptions run out in a month. And then I'm going to have to lower the amount of emotes that people have access to. But yeah, Ernesto did make a nice new batch. I have way more than I can use. I think I need to get to something like 1,000 members to support all the new ones he made me. And I don't think we're getting there anytime soon. But appreciate you, Ernesto, as always, with the emotes and thumbnails. What do you think the next special PSA price will be and when? I've mentioned it before, but I know I make so much content and it's also spread out. I would be shocked if we don't get 15 back by February, honestly. PSA's turning the 19 around really quick right now. So February 1st, I'm guessing that we will get 15 or 16 back. Maybe not. If not, I think we will see sub 15 by the end of Q1 is what I've been saying going back to like early last month, maybe even November timeframe. I think I've been saying that by the end of Q1 in 2023, I expect that we'll see sub 15. So I would guess 15 on February 1st, 2023, and then maybe March, maybe April 1st, start of Q2. I would be kind of surprised if we don't see sub 15, honestly. Maybe 15 will be the new floor. I know people don't want to hear it. I don't really want that to be the case, but I have mentioned that I'm not sending any new ones unless I do get things that are more valuable and need to be sent at that tier anyways. But the only way I'm going to send at 19 again is if 19 is all we have April or May timeframe. If nothing comes around cheaper, I'm going to have to just cave and be like, okay, I need new inventory to be cycling through, and I'll just start submitting maybe 100 cards a month or a couple hundred cards a month until I get a feel for where we're at. So that's all my thoughts on where we're going to end up with grading fees. I have a question regarding taxes, I guess. So when you sell something for someone else, what is the breakdown on how much you get, how much eBay gets, how much is set aside to cover taxes? So I will give you I'll give you a specific example. I guess it's a hypothetical, but specific example. If you consign with me $1,000 item, just because it's a nice round number and it works out really, really well. So you sell a $1,000 item, my eBay fees are 12%. If it goes GSP, if it goes somewhere else, I pay slightly more. But at the end of the day, $1,000 comes into my account minus eBay's fees, $120. So I get $880 into my account. I pay out my consigner 20% less. Basically, it's a 20% fee, so I pay them out $800. So 1,000, 880 actually comes in. 800 goes this way. 80 is for me. Except I've got to have the packing supplies, shipping supplies, and then shipping the item out. $1,000 item, I usually go small flat rate box, and I use a couple bubble mailers. I use one of these cardboard sleeve things around the card as well. So it's kind of like, it's not really double boxed, but it's almost double boxed. And say $10. Say $10 for the small flat rate box with signature, with a few packing supplies in there. So $1,000, $120 goes to eBay, $800 goes to the consigner, 10 goes to shipping, and then 70 would be my net profit. I would pay taxes on my $70 net profit of selling that item. So that's like a theoretical example. All that, I mean, state and federal and everything else. I mean, my mileage to the post office and back, like those things all factor it in at some point or another, but that's getting a bit more complex. So that's as simplified as possible, I think, that example. Alex says 2 questions for the Q&A. Was the Moonbryon landing real or was it a hoax? And who did you sell the trophy to, or did they never end up going public with that? The Moonbryon landing was in fact real. The card actually did go to the moon, $1,500, $2,000, wherever it peaked at, and then it landed back down to $800. That actually happened. I think it's on its second trip to the moon, though. Who knows where it's going to end up? They did not make it public at this point who I sold the trophy to. If and when they do, then I will as well. We got a lot of emotes in chat. Really dig the playmat. Appreciate that. How much would you be looking for on that PSA 1 RK9? I know someone who may be interested, but I don't know. Honestly, like, probably too much. I would suggest anyone that I know to just please go on eBay, search for that card as cheap as possible, and find a damaged one and then replicate it yourself. PSA 1 is the easiest grade to hit, I think, because, I mean, I didn't damage any of these cards further from what they were. But yeah, if you need to, you could theoretically damage it to the point that it gets a 1 if you're that set on getting a 1 grade. So I'm probably going to list it for like PSA 7, PSA 8 price, and it will probably sell. I would, if a friend really, really wanted it, I would just try to convince them like, hey, I want to get like full market value for this card, which I wouldn't feel good charging a friend. Please just replicate it yourself because it's not that hard. That's honestly what I would say. The whole PSA 1 thing is really, really silly. Like I said, I sold a CGC 1 for greater than I could sell a PSA 9 of a certain card before. Really, really weird. And I do see G1T Landon. Again, it's weird. I can't highlight gifted memberships, but G1T Landon, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate you. Congrats to everyone in the chat. 5 new people getting the emotes. Maybe bring some people out of hiding. Bring some people out of lurking. I've not been trying to really chase PSA 1s. It's like I said, I think certain cards are just like, where else am I going to sell it? I can sign some rough condition cards to whatnot, but I don't want to sell damaged cards on eBay because there's just way too likely that I'm going to have issues with that buyer. And I don't want to have to send more pictures, and I just don't want to deal with it. So PSA 1, it's like, yeah, if I have a card that's probably going to be PSA 1, I know the silliness that goes on around it, so I'm gonna just go for it. I'm not like making PSA 1s. I'm not damaging cards to become PSA 1s, but I can't sell them through Evo. I'm not gonna sell them on my eBay. I did whatnot consign some, but other than that, yeah, that's where I'm at with the PSA 1s. I'm gonna try to. I gave Dan the best new emotes and he didn't upload them. I'm all set on Dan. The next rip and ship is not yet scheduled. I could potentially do another Crown Zenith if people had interest in it. I'm not going to do it this week. This week is really, really busy. I have Pokeflips tomorrow with Squeaks. Shout out Pokeflips. Shout out Squeaks Game World. There's another membership. AJG _XIV. So AJG 14. If I remember my Roman numerals correctly. I appreciate you. Am I regrading any BGS labs to get the silver label on lower grades? No. Numbered playmats. Probably not numbered playmats coming. It would be easy enough to do, though. I mean, you can just make the design. You can edit the design in Canva or wherever, and probably not going to do that, though. How's it going, Doodles in the membrane? We're shilling playmats now. Oh, take my money. Oh, man. Appreciate you, Evan Fuji. Yeah, the video that I made Monday, I was a little worried how it would be taken, and I didn't see any negative comments. I didn't hear of any issues. I mean, it was one of my best videos on my last 10. Solid views for my channel, and just a really lot of good feedback in the comments here on YouTube, Instagram DMs. Like, I had a lot of people reach out and just say they really enjoyed the video and the transparency, and comments like that. I really like hearing that people are enjoying the videos because monetarily it doesn't pay a ton directly, but it's definitely nice to hear that people enjoy it, entertain it, are educated by them, whatever the case may be. Okay, Java says, I would be surprised if YouTube takes emote slots away after you unlock them. Twitch leaves them after you reach the milestone. That's interesting. I have no idea how it works. I genuinely thought like, oh man, if I ever decline in members, I'll have to give back some of those slots, but maybe not. I guess I'll find out in a month, or if I do a quick Google. Interesting though. Appreciate you, UAP. Show the Welch's jars. They're back there. They're hanging out. I have a full set somewhere too. Where'd they go? Oh, did I move them? I think I moved them. I don't think they're back there anymore. I don't even know what's behind me anymore. At some point, I want to get better about periodically rotating the background out. But as you can see, I'm really bad at it. Orlando's 1 month away. Bullish on Orlando. Is it worth stonking on battle styles? I'm not. It's not worth it for me, I guess is what I'll answer. The IRS currently has me detained, but have promised me a lighter sentence if I give them the names of some bigger tax-dodging fish. Anyone in the hobby come to mind, Dan? Thanks heaps. I'm not a snitch. I know that I'm doing everything above board, so you'll have to look elsewhere. Oh, man. See. Yeah, Dan ain't gonna snitch. Charlie, cool out. Dan, what's your thoughts on eBay Live? Do you ever plan to use it? And once it gets more popular, do you think it will make Whatnot tank? Whoops. I don't know. I guess I'll have to see. I'll just wait and see. With Whatnot, I was always concerned that the only times that would be beneficial, like have a good stream, would be to do during the evenings when I want that to be family time. So I never went for it. Plus, I'm more of like, I want to set my own schedule. I mean, the live streams, I guess I do have like a fairly regular live stream schedule that that has me coming back every week. I don't really want to be tied to eBay Lives. I don't know. I guess I'll have to wait and see. But given that I have a nearly 20-year-old eBay account, given that I had thousands of followers already, if those would feed in, if those would carry over, like I could have a decent head start if that were to be the case. Whereas Whatnot, if I were to try to start today, I'm starting at a big disadvantage, a long ways behind. I do see my stream going red. Hopefully it's coming through fine. But I'm seeing some red on my OBS. I do have my Wi-Fi turned off on my phone. I am hardwired on my computer. Sorry if it's laggy. I'll see what I can do to get it going. But do you think stocking up on Sword and Shield is a good idea? Distros just released some pre-release bundles and they say after this no more. Good hold or no? Me personally, I'm not. If I can get it at wholesale, I'm getting it. I'm not, if you're talking about going to the open market and stocking up. Yeah, my stream said I just completely shut down, so hopefully people are still here with me. I don't know. Dan, would you rat on your friends for a lighter prison sentence? I'm never gonna do anything where a prison sentence is in the making, in the running. It's never gonna be relevant, but no. Never gonna be relevant, but no. PSA 2's hardest grade, but no one is ready for that conversation. Actually, per Pokemetrics, it's something like 3.5 or 6.5 or something. There are lower pop ones than the PSA 2. I'm paying $9 for eggs. PSA 1 prices don't seem that bad. Is this what 3 months of the beard? I don't remember. I don't remember exactly how long it is, but I did trim a little bit. I trimmed like here where oddball spots grow. I've trimmed a couple times, but not too much. Pretty much just letting it go for now. I think my wife is waiting for me to shave it all off, but she's gonna be waiting a while. Let's see. Oh, I just jumped to the bottom. Can't catch up with chat. Dan, would you like to see or think we may ever see a new evolution or two down the line? If so, on the spot, type in name ideas, e.g. ground, fighting type, Ninjaon. Nick and I were asked this on PokeFlips before. And Nick said dark type. He'd love to see a dark type. And he just completely, Umbreon is like, am I a joke to you? But Ghost would be cool. What would you call it? I have no idea. I'm not creative, but I'll say Ghost type. I guess I think I've seen memes about that before. A little bit little bit morbid with how the ghost type would be created. Yeah, I did see. I made the classics, Pokemon Classics top 5 of his monthly. I've made that quite a few times now. I always love to watch those recaps, and I love to see when I make it. Dust TV transforms into dust. Appreciate you, cheeks galore. SDC says, your Pokemon story is inspiring. Can you talk about how you put the losses behind you and don't tie up money in the losses? Yeah, I think the worst thing you can do with a loss is if you made the wrong call and the item doesn't have great prospects in the future, the worst thing you can do is just hold a loss longer. Even if it doesn't go down further, it ties up opportunity cost, it ties up capital, cash flow that you could be using for other things. So don't make a loss a bigger one. That said, there are times where things go down and then the fundamentals haven't changed. It still has good prospects, and they come back. So I'm not saying sell everything that goes down because it cut your losses, blah, blah, blah. I'm saying if the reason you bought it originally, nothing has changed, and you think fundamentally it's a good item, if you can grade it, if there's a way you can improve it to make it be able to be sold to make money, then go for that route. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, don't get hung up on losses. Look forward, not back. When you take losses, think about how and why you made the mistake, where you went wrong, so that you don't do it again. That's all I can really say on that. Yeah, there's no sense looking back. There's no sense. You can spend all day wallowing in pity, self-pity over the losses, but at the end of the day, like, it's not gonna help. It's actually actively gonna hurt. So you can't change it. It's already happened. Just move on and try to do better in the future. Metal evolutions would be cool. Metallion. I don't know how you would pronounce that, but Metallion I'm going with. How do I get a tracking number from PSA for the return of my first ever submission? I've tried calling a handful of times, but have no luck reaching someone. Right on the website. If they've just said your grades are there, you won't get the tracking number for a day or two, maybe even longer. They're pretty inconsistent with certain things, but you don't really ever need to call them. PSA actually has a decent tracker. I don't really believe in it that much. I don't really believe necessarily that what it's saying is what's actually going on. But yeah, they'll show it right on the dashboard of your return when they ship it, what the tracking number is. CGC is grading metal cards. I saw wait for PSA or send. If I was PSA, I would not be putting too much time and energy into grading those. I would probably just let CGC have that niche. How many cards are you talking? Like 10, 20, 50,000? Who knows? Who knows exactly? But like at the end of the day, does PSA really need to get 50,000 cards encapsulated that they can otherwise just grade normal cards? And what happens 10, 20 years down the line if poor production quality, if the paint just all flakes off? It's going to be a bad potential experience for people. I wouldn't even touch it if I was PSA personally. I'd let CGC have it, but I don't know. If you want to make the play, there's probably a play on the first to market. New case, CGC, perfect 10s, pristine 10s. IRS shutting down the stream right now. I'm going to try to catch up the chat and then open this Crown Zenith ETB for Chris W. Thoughts on 30% tax instead of an income tax? I have seen people talk about a consumption tax. I'm assuming you're talking about like a sales tax. Pay 30% sales tax on everything instead of having an income tax. Not to get political, not to get like, that becomes to an extent a little bit, I guess, political. But you would need to have exemptions. You would need to have somebody making $500,000 isn't going to be hit as hard somebody making $50,000 or a household making $50,000. You would need to have some amount of an exemption on certain products and goods, I think, on the first $50,000 spent as a household, maybe. How you would do that, it would be complicated. It would be convoluted. I don't know. I think there are ways that it could be done and it could be better or as good as what we have now. What we have now is pretty convoluted, complex, not the greatest, but like it works. It works too. At the end of the day, whatever system we're in, I'm just going to optimize for me. I think a lot of people get hung up on like, oh, this is also broken, this is also bad. They throw their hands up, they don't do anything because they let these external things like defeat them. And you just need to like, I'm actually gonna do a video on this Monday, so I'm not gonna get into it too much, but there's a lot of like noise around, and I don't know where this came from. I don't know where exactly this came from. If you've heard the noise, some people are really loud about this is so broken, this is so wrong, and they just don't do what's best for them. They don't optimize for themselves. Yeah. I'll address it more Monday, I guess. Not that specifically, but like, yeah, we'll get to that Monday. James, I see the live chat. James says he loves all this financial and tax advice. Let's see. I just jumped to the bottom. I'm gonna try to catch up though. It would be cool if he's like, here's how to avoid taxes, then it freezes, come back and says that's the secret. So tax avoidance is actually good business. Tax evasion is illegal. Semantics are very important when you're talking about taxes. Hire an accountant. Accountants know the loopholes. Accountants know, not even necessarily loopholes, but they just know how to optimize for avoiding taxes, minimizing taxes, putting them off for the future through the use of like traditional IRAs. Definitely consult with professionals because they know how to avoid taxes. That is the secret. The secret is there isn't one. You pay somebody whose job is to do that for you, and then they do that for you. And you pay them less than they save you in almost all cases. Peak Dad Chew says, how many auctions do you run for your non-consignment inventory? 0. How many sales are you getting a day on average per 100 listings? So I have 2,500 listings, 2,000 to 2,500, and I'm getting about 20 a day. So 1% per day. I touched on that a little bit in the whole Reseller Nirvana video 2 weeks ago, I think. Not this Monday, but the Monday before, with the Squirtle Nirvana cover thumbnail. So check out that one, Peak Dad Chew. Who will trim their beard first, Mason, Cardinal, or Dan? I already have a couple times, so I guess I lost that one. Ghost type, maybe a Boobrion. Oh, man. Would I wear a full leather onesie if chat provided it? No. Hi, Dan. Any tips on making raw arbitrage plays besides buy low, sell high? I mean, that's literally it. Buy low, sell high. Buy big lots and then break them down and sell them higher than you bought them for. That's a huge part of what I do. Dan, if I became a MetaZoo partner, is it safe to assume that your goons will be sent my way? I don't have goons. You're good to go. If you want to partner up, partner up. I'll miss breaking your boxes in the box breaks, but I'll understand. James tagging the IRS. How do I make more money? I'm not the guy for that. I think your buddy, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name already. I'm gonna look at our Discord DMs. Gary V, yeah, because you just mentioned sarcastically a Gary V quote recently in our DMs. So yeah, Gary V would tell you how. James also wants to know. Yeah, tons of people in this space are doing friends and family only, 5, 6, if not 7 figures. It's pretty wild. I have some money, but I want more of it. Let's see. Badly Super says, my CPA helped me save $10K for a cost of $175. Yeah, I mean, some of my best return on investment over the past 2 years has been hiring a good CPA. Absolutely. At what point is it okay to skip meals to buy cards, or how many meals is it okay to skip? The answer for me personally is none, 0. I guess talk to your nutritionist on that. I quit my job and I also don't sell my cards. Did I make money? No, you did not make money. I'm gonna open. Oh man, I'm gonna open this. Chat's getting a little wild, so I'm gonna clear off the comment. I'm gonna open Chris W's ETB again. Chris, if you're here, I apologize for making you wait so long. I'm already half an hour into this stream. I apologize making you wait the week too. One thing I decided to for future streams is that I think in the interest of transparency, it's nice to break down the ETB on stream so that people know there's no funny business. I don't know if it's true or not. I actually heard Crown Zenith could be weighed. Periodically, there's been different mapping, weighing issues in Pokemon as well as MetaZoo and everything. It's crazy. It's 2023. Pokemon's been around 25 years, and I don't know whether it's true or not, but for future Rip and Ship streams, which this is not, I will do all the breakdown off camera beforehand. If you don't trust me to not do any funny business, I'm not going to do any funny business. But if you don't trust me, it doesn't hurt my feelings. Just don't buy. And I will mention that too. I think the way a lot of my lots on my website are advertised is 9 loose packs basically. But this was advertised as an ETB. So I ripped it as an ETB on stream. If and when I do more Crown Zenith in the future, instead of doing an ETB, I will just do 10 booster packs. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. I know that there are genuinely streamers out there. There are things out there, but like eBay sellers out there, you got to watch out for buying loose packs. But again, if you can't trust me that I'm not going to do any funny business, it's not going to hurt my feelings if you don't buy into my stream. So I just wanted to mention that. We got, oh yeah, let me make sure I have sleeves. We got 3 celebrations packs. For whatever reason, my hits have been coming in upside down. I guess I'll give away that code card. My hits have been coming in upside down in these celebrations packs. Just a weird batch for whatever reason, but we got 2 hits in the first pack. I've got 3 celebrations packs here because I accidentally forgot to rip this last week for Chris, and I just wanted to give a little extra. Oh wow, double hit again. I wanted to give a little bit extra for the delay. I'm glad we got some hits in these too. We got the live chat on screen. I'm gonna just try to rip this fairly quick and then get back to the chat. You can kind of see the live chat on screen though. I'm not gonna be able to highlight any while I'm opening. We got 3 hits. We got codes for chat. And now we're going to go right into the Crown Zenith. We got just an Executor. So we got all bulk. All bulk in that one. Question for Dan. Dan, are you a scammer? No. Not only am I not a scammer, but I think I'm honest and transparent to a fault at times, which is what I want to be. Like, I want to leave no room for anyone to wonder. There we go. What do we got? Duraludon VMAX. I couldn't read it through the camera. But yeah, like when I do my box breaks for the vintage stuff, which I'm actively trying to source some vintage boxes right now for Orlando. But when I do those, I make a spreadsheet. I tell you how much money you're going to lose if you buy them. I tell you, like, please don't buy them unless you know that 95% chance you're going to lose money. There we go. We got a Zeraora VMAX. But long term, if people don't trust me long term, again, don't buy into the packs. But if you wanted to, you could track it too, right? Like you could track the hits. You could see if people stream for stream in any given 10-pack lot, you can have bad luck. But long term, it's all going to work out to the long term averages, right? So I mean, if someone wanted to be a watchdog of my rip and ships, they could actually do that, and they could actually track the long term hit rates and ensure that it was proper. We got another non-holo rare. See, this one, it's starting out pretty rough. The celebrations were nice to us. 3 for 3 with 2 of them double hits. And then these are being pretty rough. I will throw in the energy there. We got a Zeraora V. Just trying to get through this one quick since it was a forgotten one. Man, we're getting a lot of non-holo rares in here. This is going to be one of our worst ETBs. My my heavy packs are negative EV collectibles. There we go. We got a Hisuian Gudra. I think that's a new one. I don't think we got that last week at all. We got a Hisuian Gudra. GG. Drop the GGs in chat. All the members. Last pack. Let's see if we can get some last pack magic. We did not. That was a pretty rough ETB. So you saw me take it live from the ETB, and this was like, one of the worst ones. I guess we got a few, but nothing crazy. Overall, that's probably one of the worst ETBs. And had I just had 10 loose packs, people might suspect something. But I did it right. I probably pulled them off screen. People probably still think I scammed, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So I'm going to go back up to chat, and I'm just going to hang out for the next 50 minutes. I'm going to go till 4:30 p.m. as I always do. And that's all I really had to show. There are a couple other cards I guess I could show if we want to see them. I bought recently a $10,000 collection of mostly Pokemon, some graded, some raw, some PSA 1 contenders. And then I also bought, they had some Dragon Ball Super, they had some Harry Potter, they had a little bit of a mixed bag of all different kinds of things. So I might show some of that. I don't think I have it all within reach, but probably most of it. Yeah, resealed, dude. Let's see where we were at. Why hire a CPA when you tell me what to do for free? How much money is enough money? I'm assuming that's like mostly a sarcastic question, but to most people, it's never enough. To me, I actually made a video on the concept of enough, and I'm not going to spend my whole life maximizing for my bank account. I'm going to spend my whole life maximizing for my happiness. And I think a lot of people conflate the two. And I think a lot of people just, yeah, hedonic treadmill, all these things I've talked about before. But I have a very clear vision of what is enough for me. And once I hit it, I'm going to let off the throttle some. I'm not even 100% on the throttle. If I was optimizing for money 100%, I would still be a chemical engineer, and I would be grinding this on the side, and I'd be working 100, 120-hour weeks. But I'm optimizing for happiness. So I've already taken my foot off the financial throttle, the earning as much money as possible throttle. But I'm still, I mean, yeah, it's a very difficult multivariable optimization problem, but to me there's a specific answer. I know exactly how much I want to have in what accounts, what investment accounts, financial independence, the 4% rule, all that stuff, 3% rule, whatever you want to go by. But yeah, I think a lot of people, it's sad. A lot of people, I don't want to get too deep here, but I know a lot of people who kind of criticize others for being too obsessed with money when, like, they work a miserable job for their entire lives until they're 70, 80, until they're dead, because they don't have enough of it. So they're constantly having to work for it, trading their time for it. So it's like, is the one that's being frugal, the one that's being mindful, the one that's setting goals and meeting them, is that person obsessed with money? The one who is able to maybe not trade their money for time their whole life? Or is the person who's literally spending 40 to 60 hours a week going to a job that they hate and being miserable most of their life about it? Are they the ones obsessed with money? That's kind of an interesting thing, kind of a deep thing. But yeah. Never enough, never punished. Heart emoji. A little bit of a rant there. D&G can get me in the ranty mood from time to time. Does the membership include tax advice? Never tax advice. Thoughts on the prize packs cards in terms of just personal enjoyment of them? I'm assuming you're talking about like the new Pop Series equivalent packs. I don't really know much about them. I watched a PokeRev video opening them. The Play Pokemon Series 1 or whatever it's called. I think they're cool. I think it's cool to get cards in the hand of players. I know that, yeah, I'm not an LGS. I'm not given any. I'm given similar things for MetaZoo. And I actually shout out to Ivy, Queen MetaZoo. There's a tournament this Saturday in Las Vegas where I sent some of my support product to her to be given out to that tournament, to the players, to the winners, things like that. I think it's great from that aspect. Other than that, they're not really for me. They're not anything I'm gonna speculate in. They're not anything I'm gonna collect. They're just there, I guess. So that's really only my only thoughts. L-Dubs, appreciate you joining the membership. At some point, I'll figure out where exactly I want these things on the screen and not have to move them every time. But that point has not yet come. Um. Oh, I thought that was for me for a second. Um, Ryan Holzauer is only taking payments in cartons of eggs right now. Eggs have always been like super, super cheap relative to what they are. Like I'm a big dude and I'm kind of expensive to feed. Like our grocery bill is decent size because I'm a decent sized individual. But eggs are like crazy value as far as how much it costs me to become full after eating a meal of eggs. And even with how much they've gone up, like relative to steak, relative to making myself burgers at home, or relative to making most other meals, I eat way too much protein, probably a lot more. My food pyramid, I don't even think they go by the food pyramid anymore, but mine would be very skewed towards very carnivore type diet. Uh, but yeah, eggs are still like relatively reasonable, I think, for what they are exactly. A lot more than they were, but still a reasonably cheap food. Not rice, not beans, not things like that. But how do I optimize eggs? I think they're a pretty good value still. They were just way undervalued before, even after being a 5x. I think they're a good value. So they were just horrifically undervalued before, and hopefully the supply chain, hopefully I think the avian flu, hopefully that will all come back around and they'll be cheaper again. But it's always funny the topics that come up during these live streams. You really never know what you're gonna get. Um, can you tell me how to maximize value investing on Star Wars serialized 1 out of 69s? You got to call in to the Pokenomics show because that's right up his alley. That's not up my alley. Maybe Jake answers this in chat soon. I don't know. I'm not selling packs right now. Yeah, that was bad though. My first time doing a rip and ship on Shopify, and I missed the quantity column, I guess. I'm only 8 minutes behind. Not too bad. How much Crown Zenith are you setting back for your future retirement? I did get 50 that I have like on hand to do breaks at some point. And then I have 200 at Troll and Toad, which I'm just gonna sell through kind of by feel. Same way I do everything else. Depending on how the price moves, depending on if I get restocked. We'll see how it goes. But I've probably only sold 5 or 10 at Troll and Toad so far. Justin's saying he won't be at Orlando. I'll be at Dallas. I mean, barring any life getting in the way, I'll probably be at Charlotte, but it could be, who knows? It could be Long Beach, it could be Denver, but Orlando, Dallas, as sure as I can be. Where are we? We have 2 sections. So Old Skool booked a section and I booked a section. How's it going, Josh? Shout out to Green Shiz. He just did a recent opening. What was it, like 3.5 minutes of Crown Zenith ETB? Resealed, dude. PK showed me how to scam on screen. Oh man, you guys are too much. uh Science Guy 87. Dan, I have a PSA submission in step 5. If I check the app 10 times a day, will they get the grades to me faster? A watched pot never boils. Yeah, people spend way too much time. Like, source more cards or consume some more PokeTube content. There's better things to do than to check the Domino's tracker, I think. They'll come back when they come back. I'm saying this, still having 1 submission, 200 cards. I'm not too worried about it because 100 of the 200 cards are Bumblebee Pikachu, and the other ones are not so great either. But yeah, I still have 1 submission lagging from 2020. It'll come someday. More money, more happiness. Jake just summarizing exactly what I said. Evo went up again. I don't know if that's like evolutions. I don't know if that's what that is exactly. Hopefully it's not Troll and Toad Evo, but I don't know. Money is a scam equals mind blown. DBS, there's a few super rares. There's some, it's a lot of SRs. It's a lot of just SRs, not SPRs. But it was a big mix. It's right over here. I think it was like 500 cards maybe. I'm not positive. Dan going deep. Coffee, yo. Sorry if you answered this before, but isn't selling cards under $5 not worth your time? It all depends on multiple things. I do sell some cards under $5. MetaZoo singles. If I'm selling MetaZoo singles that I have almost no cost basis into, there are times where it can be. If I'm selling, it's not. It's about how much I'm making. So if I'm selling a $2 card that I'm netting $1.20 on, and I can do 30 of those in an hour, well, I'm making over $30 an hour. If I'm selling cards for $4.99 that I bought for $4.25, and I'm breaking even or netting 10 cents a piece, no, that's not worthwhile. Troll and Toad Evo sells most of my stuff that's super cheap, but I do sell a handful of mostly MetaZoo cards, sub $5. Primarily, I don't think there would be any Pokemon that cheap. But same thing goes for like Pokemon graded cards. I don't want to sell consignments for $20 because I'm only making like 7% of that, and it's not worth my time. But it is worthwhile to sell cards that I'd have to bulk sell for $8 a slab, but I can sell them for 20, and I can net like an extra $5 or $6 on it, times 30 that I can fulfill in an hour, and it makes it worthwhile. As always, the answer is not just like yes or no. It's always dependent on other circumstances. James made a joke and dip. This man is going deep. I'm never gonna hire Shadowless Jack. Uh, just it's not gonna work out with the way I want to do this thing. Hiring someone would make me feel a lot more tied to it. I mean, I would be not just feel more. I would functionally be more tied to it. There would be more red tape. There would be more things that I just don't want to go through. Part of the way that I'm set up with my retirement accounts, I would actually have to functionally change the way my retirement accounts are set up, solo 401ks, and it's just not. Maybe things change down the line. One thing that I've mentioned in videos, maybe I'll do a video on it. The best employees are the ones that you don't have to actually hire directly. James can be my employee any day I want. I can grab a box and I can pack up slabs and I can send it to James. James, Cam, and his new employee will all work for me without the 1099s, without the W-2s, without any of the headache. I just pay him 13.9%. My cards get auctioned. Boom, it's done. Troll and Toad. I have employees there that aren't employees on paper. So like it just works out. You pay other people for their services, and I'm going to just opt for always doing that instead of hiring an actual employee because it just works out better for the way I'm structured. Justin says, since I've been working huge hours and have huge responsibilities, who can take consignments of raw cards and can grade them for me? I am doing that on a very limited basis with certain people that I have a consignment relationship with already. I am not becoming the next Ludkins. I'm not becoming a middleman. I'm charging more than they did, and it has to be consigned through my Buy It Now consignment. It's not at all something I'm going to advertise much. That this will probably be the biggest advertisement I've ever made for it. But yeah, if you have very specific things that will meet the thresholds required of my consignment and you want to sell them all, reach out. If this is for your personal collection, if this is for things that you want to sell on your own, that is not what I'm doing. So yeah, anyone watching that is in that specific circumstance where they would want to grade through me and then sell through me, reach out and maybe we can work something out, but it needs to be higher end. The numbers need to work and make sense. And I'm not going to do 1,000 card submissions. I'm not going to do like, I'm not going to do anything that overwhelms my capacity. When do I get my hour of tax advice now that I'm a supporter? You can retire at any age with a sugar mama. Mr. Walrus with the financial and relationship advice. What software / program do you use to highlight the messages? It is called... It's a Chrome add-on. It's called... Sorry, I'm just Googling it quickly. Links from live stream chat. You need to look up... I guess DM me. DM me somewhere and I can find it. It's... Aaron PK. Aaron PK is the guy who like built it. But it's some plugin or add-on that you download for Chrome. And then it gives you basically a URL that you put into OBS to pull the highlighted messages. So yeah, DM me if that doesn't give you what you're looking for, but it's great. I really like it. StreamYard has that functionality, and I really missed it leaving StreamYard for OBS, but then finding this, like, now the only thing StreamYard has is it formats it nicely. Like, you see me moving this chat highlight all the way around. StreamYard just does that on automatically. Since you bought that collection of non-Pokemon cards, will you think of doing it again, like with One Piece, White Schwartz, or Disney? If it makes sense, if the buy is right, potentially. Eggs undervalued. I'm very bullish on eggs. Even at their new price, they're still undervalued. Can we grade eggs? How do I optimize eggs? Do we need more turtle-based Pokemon? I think we need more. Sure, we could use more. Turtles are cool. Why isn't Old Skool ever in your lives? Beef. He's out on that eBay grind, TCG player grind. I'll be live tomorrow with him though. Tomorrow afternoon, me, Nick, Squeaks over on PokeFlips. Go check it out. It's gonna be a fun time. Value investors been quietly buying eggs for years. How are you able to highlight the messages? J Rob, again, feel free to DM me and I'll let you know a link to it or something. But hopefully just Googling Aaron PK, OBS, highlighted message, Google all those keywords and it should come up. Dan, do you have any car loans? I have a small loan and it's hard sometimes to not sell my cards to pay down my principal. I'm in my mid-20s, so the less payments, the better for me. I don't know what the rate is. Like, again, I'm not going to make any recommendation to what you should do. For me, I paid off, I think my wife and I haven't had car loans since 2015. And the last car that I bought, I paid cash. I'm in a financial position now that I should never have to take out a car loan again. I just really don't like debt. Even if it's suboptimal, even if the rates are so low, which these days rates have gone up and they're not as low as they were even when I paid mine off early. I paid off my mortgage early. I just don't like debt. So yeah, for me, the decision was easy to pay everything off, but not for everyone does that make sense. And I don't know about your situation. Let's see. Man, I am quite a ways behind. Only 10 minutes, but a lot of chat. How many sales do you think you need to be doing on eBay in order to merit a store? Google eBay store fee calculator. It's not about how many sales. Do the math. The numbers are right there. I don't remember everything that it gives you, but put in your average sale price, put in your number of listings, and then just let it tell you which is the optimal. It's just a matter of doing the math, which one is best for you, and yeah, then go ahead with that. Optimizing for paying the least. I used to have the $60 store. I have like the $13 store now, I think. Or maybe it's 30. I don't even know. I'm going to Google really quickly eBay store levels. Yeah, I don't have a starter. I have a basic. So I'm paying 28 a month, 22 a month because I do it by year. But I used to have a premium. Now I have a basic. So for me, the way the math works out, basic makes the most sense. I've got way more listings than when I made that downgrade. So maybe at some point in the coming year or two, I might actually get up to enough listings where premium makes more sense. And I'll go back to that one. But yeah, just Google eBay store calculator, fee calculator, and then do the one that makes the most sense. Free egg with purchase of ETB. How many gallons of milk do you drink in a day? Definitely less than a gallon. I try to usually drink, it's more than a pint glass. I think I have like 20-ounce glasses. So I drink like a 20-ounce glass of 1% milk with dinner. And then occasionally I will with lunch. So I guess, what is there? 8 pints in a gallon. I'm drinking about 0.16, like a sixth of a gallon, 0.1666 gallons of milk a day. With egg salad, Orlando, man. My milk never expires because we do go through quite a bit. We do go through quite a bit. Are tomatoes undervalued? Been looking to pick some up. Retro's the one talking about tomatoes. I see Retro in chat. He's got something he says about tomato farmers, so ask him if tomatoes are undervalued. Yeah, I'll be at Dallas. Ryan Kilkenny, hey, so I have a guy local who's got about $2,000 in Pokemon products, mostly $300 to $400 Japanese exclusive products. What % discount should I ask to buy for resale, bulk, cash, local? It all comes down to what can you sell it for and how much do you need to make it make sense. If you need to make $100 an hour to make it make sense, do the math. How long is it going to take you to sell them? How much are you going to sell them for? On what platform? What are your fees? Sit down and do the math. That's all you can really do. If you're buying them for a flip, if you're buying them for an investment, I mean, buy them as undervalued relative to market. What can you buy them for elsewhere? Make sure you're getting a discount to make it make sense. Those are some of the factors that go into it, but it's never a flat percent. I see people advertising, oh, I'll pay 60%, 70%. I don't pay a percent. You show me what you have, I make you an offer based on my own internal things. You take it or leave it, and we move on. Like, it's never a percent, though. People always want quick, easy rules of thumb, but it can never be that simple. It's never that simple. I'm going to 3 to 4. 3 to 4 per year is where I'm at. I'm also going to try to plan a trip to Kentucky probably to visit one of my distributors and then Troll and Toad. So I'll probably stick with 3, but it could be 4. So it's going to be Orlando, Charlotte, and it could be Long Beach and Denver. It will be Long Beach and Denver or Dallas probably, but I'm not positive. More than 10 minutes behind chat now. What do you think of how the U.S. collector's perception has changed in regard to the Japanese card market? Do you have predictions with how this will play out, given the yellow border change for U.S. cards? I don't really know. My perception changed. I never strayed into Japanese until I finished up all my goals in English. That was in about 2019. I really like the Japanese cards, but I still prefer the English. Silver border, I don't think it's as big of a deal as a lot of people make it. Obviously, the cards for 25 years have been yellow bordered. They're going to be silver bordered moving ahead. I don't think it's going to be that deep. I don't think there's going to be any drastic changes. 10, 20 years down the line, it might be used as like a logical, okay, I'm talking yellow border era, I'm talking silver border era, like a logical split of right now, like in my head, I do WotC. WotC is a logical split because WotC made it, then Nintendo, right? Yellow silver border will be a logical split because where do you split mid-era? Where do you split semi-modern, ultra-modern, mid-modern, like silver to yellow border, yellow to silver border will just be a logical split. And I don't think there will be like too many deep alternative things otherwise. Steven says, I'm preparing for my first PSA submission. I only have about 100 cards to submit. I would be grateful for some tips / guidance. Specifically, should I submit them 50-50 and how do I put them in order of say? I don't do anything with the ordering. Some people have these really deep theories on why you're going to get higher grades if you do XYZ. I just submit them. I submit them however they are in front of me. Just for me, like I usually go by set. If I have 20 cards from Jungle, I'll do in order. Just I don't do anything like, yeah, I don't have any of those theories. Chat will probably help you out. There are probably 10 people in chat, 112 watching. There's probably at least 10 conspiracy theories in chat about how you put these first, you put those last, you put this in the middle, you put a $20 bill behind the 17th card, and you're going to get all 10s. I don't subscribe to any of that stuff. That's where I'm at. Isn't every single Metazoo card ever created under $5? Some are really, really high. The Hateful Eight, insane pull rates. If anyone wants to watch my Seance pull rate video, absolutely crazy. Let's see. Ernesto wants everyone in chat to go report to him in Orlando and then buy something. Say what's up and then buy something. Blue lights was last week. Mr. Walrus, I'll keep an eye on the live chat. You pick a color. Since you're one of the MVPs of the chat, you pick a color and I'll make it that color. So I'm going to be waiting for Mr. Walrus's suggestion, and then I'll change the lights in the background. Can I go through with my method of finding and assessing collection buys? I have a lot of videos. I've had more people asking this recently. I have a lot of videos, at least, well, a lot, 2 or 3 probably in my backlog, where I said, here's a collection, here's a spreadsheet, this is how I valued it, this is how I made the offer. I'm going to make more in the future. I'm going to make one on the $48,000, $25,000 non-Pokemon, $23,000 Pokemon collection that I bought. So more will come in the future. But that is literally like a full video topic. It's all about, at its core, how much can I sell this for? How much do I have to make? What do I want to pay? You want to pay it as low as possible, right? But you want to also make a reasonable offer that has a chance of likelihood of going through. But at the end of the day, that's all it comes down to. Just do the math and make your offer. Walrus wants green, so we're going to go green. Couple clicks of a button, and we will be green. If anyone doesn't like the new color, they can take it up with Walrus because he picked. But yeah, definitely check my channel. Search for collection buy, search for something like that. You'll find some long spreadsheet videos where I really dive deep into it. 30-minute, 40-minute videos where I talk about how I find and buy collections and things like that. So there's a lot there. How do I subscribe on mobile? If you're on iPhones, I think it's harder to find, but I think there's just a subscribe button. I have an Android, so that's all I know. Question, do you see sexual harassment suits ensuing if you hire? See, I don't have to deal with any HR related things if I'm the only employee. That's part of the benefit of not having an employee too. No office politics, no issues like that, so it's great. How's it going, Retro? I asked Dan to be his employee and he replied no. No. I said send to James and Cam to avoid having to hire somebody and having employees, and people do that though. Absolutely. I'm not advocating for it, but people do that. It is 13.9% for cards under 100%, but there is a $5 surcharge for cards under 100%. So it's still flat 13.9% regardless of price, but add on that $5, that really adds up. Obviously, if you're selling sub 100. So functionally, I mean, selling a card for $99.99 would cost you 18.9%. Selling a card for $50 would actually be like 23.9%. Same way I charge my fees in my consignment business. I have a $20 minimum fee because I just don't want to get super low end stuff. I don't want high volume, super low end. And I think James still gets it. Even charging 13.9% plus $5, James gets a lot of sub $100 cards. Dan, when are you going to start taking drink orders for Section 70? Oh man, we're gonna win. I thought I was. Let me double check. Somebody just asked me recently what section I was. Oh yeah, I am Section 71. So I think Section 71 is gonna win. I believe in my people. Sounds good, Justin. How would you start over in 2023 selling Pokemon cards if you only had 5 to 10K to spend on cards product? Exactly as I did. I just did a video this Monday of my journey, kind of like how I didn't get too deep on the mechanics of it, but you can see by looking at the top 3 items that I bought, I would have the collection in the past though. I would, if I went business focused, I would jump right to like 2018, 2019 me, and I would be buying collections for resale primarily, collections for flipping. My first several years, 2014 to 2018, as you could see by my video on Monday, I was buying a lot of boxes. I was losing a ton of money by design on purpose to satisfy my collector needs. And it definitely put me further behind financially where I could have been had I done everything. Like, it's kind of a blend because I owned more things than I would have if I was business minded from the start, and I got to get the appreciation in 2020 during the boom. But I also, yeah, I lost a lot of money ripping those boxes that I wanted to rip to satisfy my gambler collector itch. So I would just do the same thing though. Five to 10K. I would buy stuff, put it in plastic, sell it for more money. I would sell through all the avenues that are there. TCG Player, eBay. Rolling Toad Evo is obviously closed now, but I would just do a little bit of what I'm doing, everything I'm doing, just on a smaller scale. Is everything considered inventory to you? How much monetary value is in your personal collection versus inventory? If so, very, very little is considered collection. My collection is my childhood binder of Base Jungle Fossil Unlimited in mostly played condition. Played to excellent. Played to light play. These two cards behind me, these Quaxleys, the Charmander, the Sitting Cuties are all PC. But yeah, like, not too many cards. There's probably less than 10 cards aside from my childhood binder. The PSA 9 Charizard, it's actually right here, that I opened on PK stream. That's that's PC because I opened it myself. And it's super clean. I thought it had a chance at a 10. Super clean. The PSA 8 Shuttleless Charizard I opened in Vegas. The PSA 8 Vesuvian Doppelganger that I bought in the box break Orlando last year. Things that are tied to memories, basically. Everything else is inventory. I'm gonna try to get caught up on chat before we end in 20 minutes. Nick, oh yeah. Nick, unfortunately, is going through an issue where he does not have access to his Instagram because it got banned like a bunch of other people's has. Hopefully his comes back soon. Yeah, J-Rob, it's fine. I did see. I glossed over it the second time. Nick isn't a member. Beef. No, it's fine. Nobody has to be. No issues. Yeah, there you go. Good investment. Don't buy the eggs. Don't buy the fish. Learn to fish. Buy the chicken. Then you got to get into, honestly, the cost benefit analysis of building a coop, buying chickens. Like, you're better off, even with the inflated price of eggs, you're almost always better off just buying the eggs because there's a lot of cost and time and labor if you value your time at all. If you enjoy it though, raise chickens. I someday intend to raise chickens. I'm just not at this point in my life going to be doing it, but I've ran the numbers on it. It's going to be more expensive than just buying the eggs we consume for sure. How often do you conduct physical inventory for your business? Do you use any particular software for it? No. Whenever I actually just, before this stream, I was doing some physical inventory and rearranging of some MetaZoo product. I do it periodically when I feel like things are way too disheveled and I need to do it. Sometimes it's a couple years in between. Sometimes it's several months in between. But yeah, that's Excel and my brain. And that's pretty much it. Can you make someone overpay for my consigned cards? I mean, I do buy it now consignments. I regularly sell the vast majority of what I sell is for significantly higher than auction sell for. So I don't know if that's necessarily overpaying if they have the money and they're consciously spending that amount of money on the card. I wouldn't call it overpaying, but I am consciously outperforming, I would say, auction consignments. But it's two different things though. Neither one is optimal. If you need the money quick, buy it nows are not always the right way. If they're super liquid things, the things that are the most liquid, the spread between buy it now and auction isn't huge. So you're probably better off auctioning some of those things, especially if you need the money quickly. On things, like there are some things that I get double what auctions go for. There are items that sell for 50, 60 bucks. I'm buy it now selling them for 100 to 120. And they don't sell within a week. They might take 2 months to sell, 3 months to sell, but they sell oftentimes. So yeah, like there's no better between buy it now or auction. I know Nick just took in he made a video recently on YouTube, I think yesterday, $120,000 collection, buy it now consignments. He does buy it now consignments too in auctions. So yeah, there's, depending on the card, as always, there's no right answer. Buy it now or auction, it depends. People don't like it, but it depends. We're on milk now. I have not played Scarlet and Violet. I bought it. I have all the games, but I've not played the last few. Question for Dan. I feel the sudden urge to drink Coca-Cola. Should you be receiving a check? I absolutely should. Come on, Warren Buffett. Reach out. Get Coca-Cola sponsoring me. Long-time watcher, first-time caller. Do you think you can make money opening cases of Ultra Modern and being first to market on art rare / trainer gallery cards? Thanks in advance. Depends on what you're paying. If you're paying wholesale through a distributor, yes, that's a lot of people's business strategy. That's their whole business. If you're tying in grading to the ones that are gradable, more so. Check out Nick's, not his most recent, but the one before that. I think he did his whole play on Crown Zenith, how it worked out, or maybe it wasn't Crown Zenith. I think he did Crown Zenith and Silver Tempest. He did a video on. So check out his videos. You absolutely can. But if you're paying market, if you're going to your LGS and buying it for market plus tax, if you're buying it online for market plus tax, it's that much harder. Your hurdle's that much higher. The lower the cost, closer to the source you go, the better price you get, the more likely that can be. Let me see. Dan doesn't believe or subscribe to nothing. Don't come at Dan with Ripley's believe it or not, because for Dan it's always not. Everyone has their theories, and at the end of the day, it's a human on the other end who you don't know what kind of day they had. You don't know what, if this whole theory that like submitting the clean stuff first or the clean stuff last, wherever the clean stuff's supposed to go, what happens if the submission in front of yours is the suboptimal stuff and it just ruins your whole submission, right? Like that's what I can't get over. So if you have a 100 card submission, first 20 are this, last 20 are that, middle 60 are this. Well, if the 300 cards before yours are the wrong thing, well, you're just screwed anyways, right? Per that theory. I just don't. Yeah, it's really weird. As of today, what do you think about Sword and Shield reprints? It changes on the daily, it seems. So please let me know what you guys think. I don't really care. I don't have perfect information. My video Monday is going to directly address this. I don't care. At the end of the day, I have what I have. If I get offered more, I will buy more. But me trying to speculate on something where I have not only imperfect information, I have almost no information. It's just not good use of my time. It's gonna pay poor dividends relative to what else I can do. Why not just source cards? Why not just grade cards, send submissions? Why not do what I have full control over and make my money there and leave the speculation up to other people? Like I'm just not gonna work in an arena where I don't have perfect information. Literally no information. So I'm not gonna do L-Dubs wants to divide me on Charmander, Quaxley, and Grill Greaser Pete, but I will not do it. To pass the time as a child, Dan would take the Guinness Book of World Records books and move them all to the fiction section. I actually have a lot of the Guinness World Book records. For whatever reason, it just became a thing that Santa would bring me every year. I think going back to like 98, I actually have them all. I really used to like going through them. Just 2023, I flipped through it the day that I got it. And yeah, I saw the whole Logan Paul Illustrator thing is in there. If I'm in New York, can I visit and draw a mustache on your canvases? You can visit, hit me up, but no mustache on the canvases. I can do an overlay. I can do a nice little edit overlay on my OBS so that it looks like they have mustaches, but they actually don't. Cheeks Galore says, I've been reselling vintage clothes on eBay. I want to switch to cards and games. Any pointers on where to start? I don't know how much knowledge you have of the space. I would say start small and yeah, don't dive in too deep too fast because you don't want to make a huge mistake. If you know one avenue, stick to what you know main and then do this on the side. If and when you enjoy it, if and when it starts working after your small kind of like pilot run, scale up from there. I've never done any like local flea market, anything like that. I have had success at Collecticons though, and I do videos after each one to wrap up what I sold, how it went. Um, Invasive Asian carp are causing widespread destruction in the Mississippi River, particularly in relation to the survival of native fish species. Should this change how we view Magikarp collectors? Magikarp did nothing wrong. Completely different species. Leave Magikarp be. Um. Uh-oh, I got lost again. Oh yeah, shout out to Old Skool Pokemon. You can't check out his Instagram, but go check out Dan TCG. Go check out Pokenomics. They recently have had stories or posts about an event they have this weekend. They have a in-person event this weekend somewhere in New Hampshire. Hooksett, New Hampshire, I think. I do not anticipate Troll and Toad Evo will open anytime soon. I have no insider information, but just given they very recently closed it, I do not think that would open anytime soon, like years at best. Oh, good. The nuances of raising chickens. uh, Dan is untrollable. He addresses it all for no reason. What did you do before you found spreadsheets? When I was young, I used to love math so much. I used to just take sheets of paper and write out huge, like, billions, trillions, huge numbers, like even bigger than that, like 30 digits long. And I used to just put rows of them and add them all like the old school way. I don't know all the new Common Core stuff, but I literally would just sit down instead of drawing stuff, instead of coloring, I would just write down a bunch of random numbers and add them all. Weird kid. I'm still a weird dude, but I was a weird kid too. Um, I did not invent Excel. Oh God. Uh, Mr. Walrus is a riot. Yeah, Nick, anytime. You know my PayPal. Hit me up. We're all in here for the sauce, just don't get lost in it. Oh man. I'm almost caught up, I think. Let's see. Jake Smith, why are you selling so many grails on 10-day auction ending this Sunday? Check out Jake Smith's eBay ending this Sunday. Um, could you please share your top 3 sources for collection buying? Honestly, YouTube is a big one now. People reach out to me. That's not a great answer that people want to hear because it took me a couple years to build this, but it's almost never like the easy answer. One is eBay. Be there looking at newly listed, be there looking at what's sat, buy now or best offer. So eBay, YouTube, my social media presence, and then collection buying. Yeah, like Heritage. There's no secret like places. I guess the biggest secret place would be my own DMs because people now reach out to me from time to time. Um, what's better, a dusty binder or a clean binder? Is the later possible? Clean binder. A clean binder is like saying a cuddly snake. Dan was the kind of kid who asked his parents for math textbooks on summer break, probably. Oh man. Is New Hampshire a real place? I've been there. I can verify. Dan's favorite movie is the one with Matt Damon and Robin Williams. I don't know if I know that movie. Good Will Hunting. I don't think I've ever seen Good Will Hunting. I need to see that at some point. I think I have that. Maybe I'll watch that soon. Um, Dust is Colson's life force. 5 more minutes. I'm gonna be live. I'm gonna try to keep up on chat. But yeah, as always, I appreciate everyone hanging out. If you can hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you want some cool emojis, 99 cents. If you've got 99 cents a month to throw away, get some cool emojis. The join button should be below, except if you're on iPhone. I guess they don't like people joining memberships. But yeah, as always, just people hanging out watching still blows my mind that I can talk Pokemon, talk chickens, talk New Hampshire, whatever we're talking about. I can talk about this stuff and 110 people will hang out with me. Pretty wild. Crazy world we live in. 2 years ago I was a chemical engineer. Now that you have your own website, have you considered listing some of the sealed products that would normally have sold on Troll and Toad Evo? Not really. Troll and Toad Evo, they do it. My website, I have to do it. My time is limited, and yeah, it's not something I really intend to do. Maybe someday on a certain limited amount of product, but I'm selling more on Troll and Toad than I can physically fulfill myself. So I could not bring everything there by any means. Storage is another thing, insurance, all that stuff is just satisfied by the extra fee I pay. I do pay more, I net less, but it's worthwhile. Dan's trollable 100%. Just send him an eBay message void of logic and he will lose his mind. I see, I don't lose my mind. Like I post it in Discord. I post it in the meme section or different section of various Discords. And I kind of like vent because I would go nuts if I couldn't share the laugh or share the, I mean, I laugh so I don't cry sometimes. Some of them are so bad. But yeah, definitely I try to not let it get to me, but from time to time, if I've had too many, if I've had a bad day, too many return cases open, sometimes it does a little bit, to be fair. I'm fairly robotic in general, but from time to time, people pierce that shield of lack of emotion and get me a little bit frustrated. Do not quit your day job. Keep teaching that chess. Sell gift cards for your rip and ships. I probably won't do gift cards, but gift cards are a good business model for a lot of people because some amount just go unused, some amount get lost, and yeah, that's the way it works. Vandy got some collector's insurance. Stressing every time I leave the apartment is no more. Come get him. Glad to hear it, Vandy. He did reach out via DM recently on getting hooked up with collector's insurance services. How's it going, Andy? Nice to see you in here. What is your take on getting shipping insurance for sending cards to PSA? I'm assuming you get it, but I didn't factor that as a cost until recently submitted cards the other day. I have like an umbrella business insurance. I used to insure individual packages sent to PSA. I used to insure high value eBay shipments that I send. Now I don't insure anything through USPS, through UPS, through FedEx. I simply put signature on it. I have a video. Go check out my video on insurance. I talk about the business insurance I use. Not only does it insure my inventory at various locations, it also insures my shipments inbound and outbound as long as they have signature on them. So I do not buy from USPS, FedEx, UPS insurance like that because it's very, very expensive and not worthwhile oftentimes. But it's all risk tolerance. Let's see. Basic, I still gotta send that out to you. I will get that sent out to you tomorrow if I remember. Let me make a note now so I don't forget. I've not yet sent it, but it has been made. Shiny Pokemon had their time, dusty Pokemon win. Do you wipe fingerprints off cards pre-submission? Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna detract from the value, detract from the eye appeal, don't leave it on the card. But then, yeah, people get really weird. Oh, don't put chemicals on it. Water's a chemical. Saliva's a chemical. So those people will never be pleased, I guess. Imagine going live while Dan's live. Who went live? Is there anybody I can raid? I'm gonna be ending soon. You can't end. It's popping. It's popping, but the whistle still blows at 4:30, so I have to end. Upload the emotes. I will do that before next week. Let me make a note of that as well. Upload emotes so Ernie doesn't jump. Become a supporter and Dan tells you that you just threw your money away. This is why I'm subbed. Oh, man. Do I think silver border cards mean they will never print yellow border again? No, I think they'll have yellow ink on the premises. The only difference between silver border and yellow border is the ink they put in the machine, right? The ink they put in the printer. It's a weird theory and it's a weird thought. MSRP thing is more reasonable. There's more basis and logic in that, but I still think 2-year window of reprints is still where my mind is at. Get business insurance, Mr. Walrus. Go check out my video on insurance. Good night. Oh, man. Yeah, basic, go live and I'll raid you. For sure. Joey Horton says, when the next rip and ship? It's not yet scheduled. Maybe next week, but maybe not. I'll definitely schedule it and let people know ahead of time. What happens at the end of this? You guys go back to work, I guess. Can someone else go live tonight? It won't be me, but hopefully somebody does. Okay, I'm going to call it there. I appreciate everyone for watching and hanging out. Last one. Do you think bulk will get more or less valuable with the MSRP increases? Slightly more valuable, maybe. All else equal, if print runs are equal, demand is equal, if everything else is equal, and it starts out more expensive at the source, it should be more expensive as bulk. All else equal. I don't know that everything else will stay equal, though. Appreciate you, Zard Hunt, last second, becoming a supporter. Choose your path, premiere with basic trainer in 30 minutes. Go check out Northwoods TCG for that video dropping at 5 Eastern, looks like. Rock Pokemon's going to rip some Crown Zenith live today. Go check out Rock Pokemon. I probably will be. I'm going to be live tomorrow. I guess last minute. I'm going to be live tomorrow on Pokeflips with Squeaks and Nick. And I'm going to be live, I believe, later in the week. I'll announce it on my Instagram. I don't know if he's mentioned it anywhere, so I don't want to mention it ahead of time. But yeah, I appreciate everyone watching. I already did 2 minutes of overtime. 2 minutes too